Hi everyone, and welcome to Gull Lake United Methodist Church's daily devotion, and this is for Monday, July 26th. I hope this finds you all doing well. I am at Stevensville at North Lake Park, and I will explain how I come to pick this location here after we get into the devotion. As a reminder, we do the upper room as our daily devotion, and so this one is again the one for Monday, July 26th. The title of this devotion is Steep Hills, and the author is Dara Gunnell, who lives in North Carolina. So the passage that is the highlighted today is from Isaiah. It's chapter 40, and it's verses 28 through 31. Do you not know? Have you not heard? The Lord is the everlasting God, the creator of the ends of the earth. He will not grow tired or weary, and his understanding no one can fathom. He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Even youth grows tired and weary, and young men stumble and fall. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. It's one of my favorite passages, especially the last verse, verse 31. And then the highlighted verse for today is then a different passage. So it comes from 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9. And here the Lord said to Paul, "My grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness." That's another favorite of mine. So again, the devotion from Dara is titled Steep Hills. Let's hear what she has to share from her heart. Growing old is for the birds, they say, and I would most wholeheartedly agree. But I sure wouldn't trade the wisdom that has come with age for my younger years. So in these later years of graying hair, one morning my husband and I decided it would be good to begin walking for exercise. Each day we start by going down our street, then turning the corner to a nice, long, flat stretch. But to make it back home, we have to climb a steep hill. That's when I say to my husband, "I'd like to grab your arm to help me up." Our morning walk has become a great time for us to pray once we come to that hill. I just can't talk and walk it at the same time. It seems to be God's way of giving us a perfect time to be still, a perfect prayer time. I've come across some steep hills in life that make me feel pretty weak. That's when I grab hold of the promise that God's strength is made perfect in our weakness. Actually, I try to remember to rely on God every day, not just when steep hills confront me, but when they do, God's grace and strength prove sufficient every time. Dara does a nice job of relaying that theme that God is always with us. But she really is talking about, those times when she's come across steep hills in her life. And she talks about walking, and that's one of my favorite things to do, and that's why I decided that I would video today from a park, because oftentimes I will go for walks, like at Fort Custer, and go around a lake. And the passages talked about, lifting you up and soar on eagle's wings. Oftentimes that's when I get to see an eagle soaring high overhead, or a hawk, and those are one of my favorite birds to see. And so I thought, how fitting, it talks about steep hills and walking, and that to come here to a park and video for you today. And then Dara talks about growing old. I can relate to that as well, unfortunately, but I too, like her, enjoy the wisdom that has come with aging. So the thought for the day that Dara wants us to take with us is, no hill is too steep when God walks with me. And we do come across some steep hills in our lives, or in our families' lives, or in those of our loved ones. And it's good to remember that God is with us, and it maybe, like Dara, it becomes a time when you're doing steep hills that it becomes a time for prayer. But Keep her thought with you today. No hill is too steep when God walks with you. So today, if you come across a hill, remember those words. And then our prayer focus that we ask to be praying for today is someone beginning a new prayer practice. So keep those people close to your heart. Please pray with me. Dear Lord, strengthen our faith. Help us to remember that your strength never wavers and that you are ready to help us when we call out to you. Amen. And that brings us to the end of the devotion. I'm going to explore this park a little more. It's a beautiful one down in Stevensville along Lake Michigan. So go ahead, and I hope you enjoy your week and have a great rest of your day. And then I see you back here next week, healthy and happy. Take care. Bye-bye.